takes me back to a time where a white man would accuse a white woman would accuse a black man of something. And they would take a bunch of guys that were above the law, run in the barn, put a rope around his foot, and drag him through the mud and hang him by the tree. Not a thought about what would happen, not an investigation, not after repeated attempts of people trying to go and say, guys, here's what really happened. Here is what really happened. Here are witnesses that'll say this. Here's witnesses that'll say that. They said, we don't want to hear. We do not want to hear.
All right, welcome everybody to On the Shoulders of Giants. This Tuesday, we are going over the hotel footage of the incident with Michael Irvin, where he was accused of SA by a woman that worked at this particular hotel. So what we're looking at now is the actual footage of the interaction between Michael Irvin and the young lady. Now, I want to back it up a bit because now the second video we're going to look at will be Michael Irvin and this attorney breaking down this video and everything that went along with the situation. But I stopped the video for a minute because I want you to look at the bottom left hand of the screen. So, and these are things Michael Irvin's lawyer pointed out. Remember, this is another black man who has been accused. All right. So at the bottom left hand of the screen is what seems to be a manager, this guy right here, who's walking under the lights and into the open area with the white shirt with the vest. So he seems to be one of the managers because the interaction that he's going to have with the young lady who accused Michael Irvin is going to be very, very interesting. Now, Michael Irvin and his crew, where my mouse is, are here at the door. This is the entrance to this bar area. You see a couple people walking out and a group of men walking in. The group of men walking in, or the group of men still outside, is Michael Irvin and the men and the people that he are interacting with. And so bam, highlighted here, I just posted, highlighted here is the woman who accused Michael Irvin of SA. So this woman, pay attention to what's going on. That's why I paused it, so we can all lock in on her. Let's pay attention to her. This woman, just look at the way she goes about getting Michael Irvin's attention to have a conversation with him. And then we're going to analyze everything from there. Once again, another black man has been accused, and especially by a white woman. History is still repeating itself, so let's go. All right, you see she's highlighted up here. You see Michael Irvin and men he's talking to, they're coming now. Michael Irvin is highlighted. Now, let's back it up a bit. Let's back it up a bit. Pay attention to her. She knows that Michael Irvin is coming that way. She knows that. She's going towards him. She's going to try to make it look like she's really not, but she is. And watch how she peep around the corner as she goes toward Michael Irvin and cut to the bar area, because she goes up, she peeps around the corner, sees him, then makes a left into the bar area. Then she stops Michael Irvin. And then at first he goes into that area and then he comes back, but you'll see. Now look at how she peeps around the corner. Bam, she sees Michael Irvin. Bam, then she takes that left. Look at Michael Irvin, and he stops right there because now he and the lady are interacting within the field of view of the camera. He's shaking her hand. They're talking. Conversation is going on. We don't know exactly what's being said, but you see, people are around. Men are around. Others are around. Now, hold up. Let me back it up a bit. Because remember, I told you about the guy who seemed to be a manager who's in the back of the picture, or the back of this camera view right here with the vest and the white shirt where my mouse is. So, but let's back it up a bit to where because we got so we saw Michael Irvin and the lady. So let's back it up. So Michael Irvin and the lady, they are at the beginning of the interaction is here at the right hand of the screen. If we look at the left of the screen, under the chandelier, the guy with the vest and the white shirt seemed to be a manager. He's coming toward where the lady is now. Keep your eye on the left part of the screen on the manager guy. He's right here and he's stopping. He's waiting. He's clapping his hands. Let's back it up a bit. He clapped his hands. He's here. Well, hold up, let's go back a little more. He's here and he starts to clap his hands because he's trying to get her attention. And he's standing there. He's just standing there and he's waiting. He looked like he's not approving of this interaction. So I'm pointing him out because he's a person who was there, who was witnessing a bit of the interaction. And if SA was happening, he would have witnessed it along with the other people who were walking by. So they're interacting. The guy's still standing there with his hands on his hips, looking perturbed, while these other two men walk by. They're looking, everybody's looking because it's Michael Irvin. The guy's just standing there with his hands on his hips. Michael Irvin is interacting with the lady. He moves more into her field of vision so she can make sure he sees her. He looks perturbed. They're talking. There's distance between them. Close distance a bit, but there's distance between Michael Irvin and the lady, while the guy is still in the back, looking like he's not approving of the interaction. And he's finally looking like he's walking away. And they're continuing that conversation. Michael Irvin and the ladies continuing that conversation. All right. We don't know what they're talking about, but they're talking. And people are steady walking by. There's another guy on his phone walking by, another guy in the background on his phone here. So still distance between them two. He touches her elbow. All right. He touches her elbow again, laughing. All right. Still distance between them two. They're talking, still distance. Shakes her hand. She shakes her hand. Bam. Other people come up. So let's stop it right here. You got these two men right here. These two men right here and the perturbed looking manager. Let's come on now. These two men just walked up. If SA would have happened, why didn't she say something then or even go to the perturbed manager? Or all these people in here, it's Michael Irvin. You can cause a scene, whatever you need to do. But nothing is happening. So she walks away. They bid each other farewell, walk away, and he's talking to these two men, and bam, look who she's with. Manager guy, let's back it up. Let's back it up because manager guy is coming back down. So as the conversation is coming to an end, look at the left top, at the center of the screen. The manager is coming down. The two guys come out here. They're in the conversation. The manager guy comes down to catch her as she's walking, seemingly not happy with the conversation. Like, hey, you need to come talk to me. Michael Irvin is still up here talking to these two guys, and they're looking at her go away with the manager. Well, that's a perfect time to tell your manager what happened if SA has occurred. And so that's the thing. This is the actual footage of the interaction. Now, we don't know what was said, but what we do know is she had ample opportunity to say something at this point if Michael Irvin actually committed SA against her. There were men all around, including who seems to be her manager, who wasn't happy with the interaction she was having with Michael Irvin anyway. I don't know if there's anything else. So that's the end of everything that happened with the interaction between the lady and Michael Irvin. I don't know her name. But once again, welcome back to On the Shoulders of Giants Joseph Ward. Make sure you check out my website, www.ontheshoulders1.com. Thank you all for all the continued support, all the views, all the likes, all the shares, all the comments. I know I haven't been getting to the comments as of lately. It's been a week. It's been a couple of weeks. It's been busy, but I'm gonna make sure I get to the comments and respond to everything. But I appreciate you all. I appreciate you all, and you all. We're building something. We're builders. We're nation builders. We're builders of tomorrow. So I decided that the audience, my audience, I'm going to name my audience the Builders of Tomorrow. Builders of Tomorrow, BOT. with builders of tomorrow. That's you guys, builders of tomorrow. So let's get more builders in here. Let's continue to grow this nation, because we are a nation of nation builders. So the builders of tomorrow. So let's do our thing. But we're here talking about the assassination of the black male character, or the assassination of the black male image. And this, when I saw this video, it took me back to, oh yeah, make sure y'all hit that like bell. Make sure, that like button, hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Like this video, like this video, like this video, make sure you subscribe. But seeing this video and the other video that I'm going to show you of Michael Irvin and his lawyer talking, it took me back to when I was in college and I read this book, The Assassination of the Black Male Image. Now, it's been a minute since I read this book, so I have to go back and read it again, because I actually just found it. I moved, so it took a while to find it. I got a lot of books, so I actually just found the book, so I didn't have a chance to crack it open and read it like I wanted to, but it took me back to when I read this book, The Assassination of the Black Male Image. And historically, black men have been the target of white supremacy. Why? Because the black male is the greatest defense to white supremacy. And if you can eliminate the black male, then the women and children are vulnerable, right? So the black man has always been the target of negativity, especially in the white media, going back to the movie Birth of a Nation by D.W. Griffith in, I believe, 1913. So in that movie, Birth of a Nation, black men were depicted as perpetrators of SA, right? Oversexed, no self-control, childlike, dumb, just animalistic, and just going off of urges and whatever impulse and whatever urge they have. This is what the black man does, and the black man is destructive, and the black man is everything that is negative, right? So if you embed that image, not just into white people, but non-white people, but especially if you embed that image and that ideology and that narrative into black women and black children and get them to reject their own man and their own father, you have division within the group of people who you fear the greatest. Now, if we go on by Dr. Wilson's theory, they fear genetic annihilation. So the people that you fear the greatest, if you can convince them that they don't need each other, also you can convince them to fear each other. You can convince them that especially their man, the greatest protector that they have, if you can convince them that their man is useless, shiftless, and he's no good, he won't be there, he won't raise the children, and not only create those narratives, but if you can convince the black man to adopt those behaviors, then yes, you have successfully completed the dismantling of not only the black family, but a black nation, because you cannot have a nation without a family. So it's important for the black man to be demonized. It's important for the image of the black male to be stepped upon. It's important for the image of the black male to be degraded. It's important for the black male to look like he doesn't care about himself. Matter of fact, it's even more important for the black male to adopt those characteristics and adopt those behaviors. It's one thing to have a stereotype, but it's another thing to adopt the behaviors of the stereotype, to actually do the things that the stereotype says. And in some part, not all black men, but too many black men have adopted those behaviors. They've assimilated into the negativity. Because think about it. To be considered a black man nowadays is to take on all of the negative characteristics that a man could have, a man, period, no matter his race, but take on all the negative characteristics of what a man is and all the negative characteristics that a man has. Those are the things that are celebrated and held up as authentic black maleness. If you are not a thug, if you're not from the hood, if you don't perpetuate the violence, then you're not considered real. You're not even considered a real man. You're not looked up to if you're not rich. Think about that as a black man in your own community. We're not looked up to if you're not rich. If you don't, matter of fact, you can be rich and not even look like you're rich, and you won't get looked up to because it's the image of the black man that we brought into. That's an unhealthy image. An unhealthy image. Like I was having a conversation with a young lady that I was working with yesterday, and it plays right into this. She was showing me an Instagram of a white guy that she follows. And at first, I couldn't tell that the guy was white because he portrays himself as a black man. But she assured me that that's a white man with a white mother and a white father. So I'm like, okay. And she showed me he made a child, and that child is white. All right. But he looks black. He has the gold teeth, tattoos. He want to be a rapper. He flashes guns, flashes money. He has an afro. The afro isn't a negative thing with a white guy with an afro. But you know, the cars, everything that looks like a dope boy, everything that looks like a gangster, thug, a rapper, all those things that's negative. That's what he portrayed. And I was having a conversation with her because she's like 20 years old. And I was like, you see this? He thinks being black is perpetuating all of the negative qualities that a man can have, because the image of the black man has been destroyed, and it's on us to rebuild our image. That's why we have to reject all negativity.